Mercedes-Benz. A wild card with the greatest playoff comeback in Chicago Bears history. Caleb Williams to DJ Moore with under 2 minutes to go. The team that was at one point down 18 is now moving on and will host a playoff game in the divisional round as they upend Green Bay 31-27 your final. And with that, we welcome you to Game Day Final. It is presented to you by our friends at Mercedes-Benz. I am Chris Rose with the Super Bowl champion, Michael Robinson. It's good to see you, my friend.
Great games today, Chris.
Holy
oh, my
smokes,
goodness, bro.
How do we explain what happened? I mean, this was a coming-of-age moment. Caleb Williams, like a star is born right in front of our eyes,
right? In front of our eyes. Early in this game, I thought he was a little frustrated, a little emotional, but he calmed himself down and led his football team to a win. I mean, I can't say enough about how this kid performed in clutch moments in this game.
Absolutely unreal. I mean, Green Bay, you thought they had a chokehold on this game. They're up 21-3 at their break. Finally, the defense showed up for the first time without Micah Parsons. Then things started to unravel, right? 4 punts in their first 4 possessions of the second half, but the Bears still couldn't get into the end zone. Now, we'll pick it up with under 3 minutes to go. Brandon McManus missed 2 field goals and an extra point, so he left 7 points on the field. So just a 3-point difference at this point, and you cannot give Caleb Williams the ball with less than 2 minutes to go because he will tear your heart out.
He just has too much arm talent, right? He can make you miss. He's one of the more slipperier quarterbacks in the National Football League. He's hard to bring down, and he can hit any part on the football field, like running left, throwing right, running right, throwing left. Anywhere on the football field is live when this kid Caleb Williams is under stress and doing what he do. You see that perfect throw right there. He had a phenomenal game. To your point, he had a coming-of-age game tonight.
The final drive for the Bears, 6 plays, 66 yards in 68 seconds. Now, Chicago's defense was horrible the first half. Let's be honest.
You said that, not me.
But it's true. We just spit facts around here. They needed one final stop, and Jordan Love, he had 1 timeout in his back pocket. He got the Packers close, but a couple of drops. You see one there by Jaden Reed. There was another one later. There was an injury to Sean Ryan, one of their offensive linemen, that cost them 10 seconds as well. He at least was able to throw the ball into the end zone. But what the heck happened to the Packers offense in the second half here?
Well, just in the second half, they stalled, right? They weren't able to run the football. Those play-action passes, those bootlegs that showed up so much in the first half just was not viable in the second half because they weren't able to run the football. And then Chicago's offense started possessing the ball. Chicago's offense started putting pressure on the Packers' offense and forcing them to have to push the ball down the field. I've told you this weeks after weeks after weeks. Jordan Love, when he's under pressure, he falls down. He's not in that elite category when he's under pressure. Actually, a lot of quarterbacks aren't elite when they're under pressure. But he has to figure out some things when the play breaks down so he can become a creator and push this off, right? Because he can get you out of situations. I thought, actually, Ben Johnson put this Bears team in some bad situations earlier in this game. I thought Ben Johnson was coaching this game like he had something personal against Matt LaFleur, the double reverse pass, all of these things early in this game, when really the game was never out of hand where he couldn't just run his regular offense. So I thought, and I think Ben Johnson's going to tell his team later on, like, look, guys,
by his numbers in the fourth quarter. Maybe off the charts, comparatively speaking. And this is nothing new. This is now officially a part of his NFL DNA, right? The Bears, they have 7 wins when trailing with 2 minutes to go or less. 7.
That's who this kid is. That's who this kid is, Chris. He's a creator at the quarterback position. He's a guy that when the chips are down, he has the ability to do special things that really not a lot of quarterbacks in the National Football League have the ability to do. And honestly, I'm happy to see it, that all of the potential, all of the things that we thought we would see from Caleb Williams when he was drafted #1 overall is now starting to show up in this game.
Well, listen, I imagine that you have been in some late-game huddles where you have looked quarterbacks in the eyes and you're like,
he ain't got it.
This ain't happening. And then there are other guys who are like, that's a dog.
Absolutely. Right? And you saw it in Caleb Williams. Again, we saw some frustration early in the game, but he was stepping in the huddle. You can see it when he stepped in the huddle. Guys were attentive, and that's really what I look for. I'm looking for how guys are looking back at their quarterback. And you see, older guys like DJ Moore on the outside, leaders on this offense. Yeah, they did what they had to do to make the plays for their quarterback.
I'm not shocked that the Bears won. I'm shocked in the way they did it, right? They almost got no contribution from their run game, which was third best in the NFL, right? Yeah. They've done it all year with Swift and Monungai. They have just beat teams to a pulp, and then Caleb has made that one special play. He basically had to carry the offense the entire day. It didn't work in the first 30 minutes. It certainly did here in the second half.
That's why most of your playoff teams, they got one of them guys.
Right.
They got one of them dudes at the quarterback position that can, when things aren't going right, they can, you know, be the deodorant for the stink that you have at the time.
You know, but what does this mean for the franchise, right? You've got a second-year quarterback. You've got a rookie head coach in Ben Johnson. They're now going to be hosting their second straight playoff game. This does not happen in Chicago. They hadn't won a playoff game in 15 years. So now are we talking about being able to win a game and then maybe another one in the NFC title game? Is this team good enough to get, should I say it?
I mean, might as well say it.
Good enough to get to the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Absolutely they are. And the physicality in the run game didn't always show up tonight, but they have that ability in their bag. Ben Johnson has that ability to just put the entire offensive game in a phone booth and beat you up. The right side of this offensive line, they're some of the best maulers at the offensive line position in the NFL. So I think when Ben Johnson looks at this tape and takes an honest assessment of what he did in this game, I think they'll get back to running the football and playing pound-for-pound football.
See what it says on the graphic right there? They're going to host either the Eagles, who are the defending Super Bowl champions, so if they take care of the Niners at home on Sunday, they'll be coming to the Windy City, or the Rams.
Who probably has the MVP right now at the quarterback position.
Probably was a lot of people's favorites.
Absolutely.
In terms of NFC team, even though they were the 5 seed going in.
Yeah, man, it's going to be one of them days.
I do think it's very possible that the Bears, for the second straight week, could be a home underdog against either one of those.
Absolutely. They could be an underdog, and actually, I would think that they would be.
And that's because of the defense. Because
that's exactly what it is.
They're great at being opportunistic, but if they're not forcing turnovers, they're a subpar defense, right?
They are, and I think it was 3 opportunities tonight.
If the ball does not bounce their way, they got to find something else they're great at. Now, to their credit, when they needed to stop with 96 to go,
and it happened.
They got it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy, but, I mean, that's the game you play in the National Football League. Yeah, you can be all about takeaways, and sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. But if you have a focus on that football, you know, the football guys usually, you know, you talk to them, they talk back. You know how it go, Chris. Come on now.
I wonder what it's like in that Packers locker room.
I don't wonder what it's like. I've been on losing playoff teams, man. It ain't good.
No, we'll get to the Packers side of things and what it means for the future of Matt LaFleur, who has just 1 year left on his contract to coach the Green Bay Packers. But
see that handshake at the end of the game? I know he was upset about that.
Well, if you blink, you missed it. I can tell you that. In the meantime, DJ Moore scores the game-winning touchdown for the Chicago Bears. Standing by with our Stacey Dales.
DJ, touchdown at the end. Describe it.
It's amazing to have another walk-off with Caleb and this fan base, and especially in the postseason, it's amazing.
How did you guys muster this? How did you put up the quantity of points and have the really second half that you guys did?
We never wavered. Our details, we honed in on the details, and we always know in the fourth quarter it's always going to find a way to finish the game out.
DJ, how special is it, though, to win this playoff game against the Green Bay Packers?
It feels amazing. 8 years I've been missing out on this playoff stuff, and now I got one under my belt.
Your first winning season in the NFL, really?
Yes, and I love it with this team. This team has been amazing all year.
What makes Caleb so special in these big moments?
He's just the brightest thing on the field. So he detailed and ready to go always.
See you next week in the playoffs.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Great job, Stacey. Get warm. According to one of our research dudes, Jack Andrade, Jordan Love is the second quarterback to lose a playoff game in which he had 4 touchdown passes and no turnovers. The other was Josh Allen in the 13-second game in that loss to Kansas City. It's great to be compared to Josh Allen, but not in this case.
Yeah, Jack must have knew I was on the show tonight.
Why is that?
Because I'm a Bills Mafia guy. You know, my dream Super Bowl would be Seattle Seahawks playing Bills Mafia. Stand
can we get back to the topic at hand?
Come on, man. Okay.
You're as bad as MGD when he wants to just talk about his fantasy teams. Can we get back on the lane here for just a second here?
He'll be back.
Packers. Let's talk about it for a second here. They had this game. They had lost 4 straight to conclude the regular season. People were saying, okay, we know you're not good enough, right? Micah gets hurt against the Denver Broncos. The defense has been a no-show. Jordan Love, he was concussed in Week 16 in that loss at Chicago. How's he going to play? He hadn't taken a snap since then. It was all systems go. It was 21-3, and things were super smooth. How does this happen to now what has become kind of a veteran team in Green Bay?
You kind of breezed over it a little bit. A very important pass rusher got hurt. They don't have the closer. That's why you didn't see Green Bay Packers. They don't make a lot of free agent deals. They packaged a lot up to go get Micah Parsons. They did not have the closer. And then offensively, when it got to the second half, they just didn't run the football with enough authority, like I said, for those play-action bootleg passes to come up so that your quarterback can move the ball downfield. That's what happened. And then defensively, you didn't get to Caleb Williams. And Chicago Bears score points. That's how you lose football in the playoffs.
Yeah. In fact, the Packers, once Micah Parsons exited stage left, fewest sacks of any team in the NFL, and they only got to Caleb Williams one time, although they did pressure him at times, certainly much better in the first half than in the second half. Jordan Love, okay, he looked great, obviously, the first 3 drives, but still 4 touchdowns. That should be enough from your quarterback.
But look at that chart, right? 21 points, right? Only 12 passes. The second lane, last 8 drives, only 6 points, 34 passes, right? Run the football. When you run the football, that is when the play-action passes come up and your quarterback can be efficient. I just think the game got out of whack.
You feel like going through an 8-page highlight right now?
I love it.
Oh, my gosh. Let's do it, Mike Robb. Caleb Williams making that playoff debut. Threw for almost 4,000 yards, but couldn't quite get there.